Hello, welcome to our channel. My name is Cassandra, this is Tobias, and this is Alice. They're my helpers for today for this $60 meal challenge.
Can I put it on my cat?
Sure. You got a little cut while helping me. But this challenge is a collaboration with a wonderful YouTube mom. Her name is Sarah. And so once you're done with this video, I would love it if you would go check out her $60 meal challenge as well. But I'm really grateful for her because she's inspired me to get back into these meal challenges, these extreme budget grocery challenges. So I hope you guys like this one. I've done the best I can. I've had a few complications, which I'll tell you about in a little bit, but so hopefully you enjoy. All right, so this is everything I got. I'm gonna go through everything bit by bit with you and tell you the price of each item. I'm also going to tell you how I could have shifted things around a little bit if my kids hadn't been with me and I could have been thinking a little more. So in total, I spent $57.49 at both stores. One thing I like about Co-op is that when something's advertised like 2 for $4 and you get 1, you actually get it for $2, whereas that doesn't happen in independent. Okay, so let's go through. We got a 5-pound bag of potatoes here for $3.50. We got this oatmeal here for $3. There's 8 packages in there, so we'll have 1 package a day for breakfast. We got these egg roll wrappers for $3.99. Now these I got at Co-op. They were fresh and not frozen, but I would have got these at independent had they not been sold out because they're only $2.50 there, and that would have been a lot better of a deal. But I knew I wanted them and I had some extra money, so I did grab them at Co-op. I've got these 3-pound bag of onions for $2.50. I got the carrots that are just underneath here for $2.50 as well. No, $2, sorry, because they were 2 for $4. And this is a 2-pound bag of carrots. I got strawberries for $3, a 1-pound package of those. We got, okay, this sauce here for $3.19. I got the bread and I got this sauce. I'm gonna try it. I've never tried it before. It's sweet and hot prepared mustard. So I'm pretty excited to try that on some sandwiches this week, switch things up. Then we've got some garlic for $1.50, 3-pack of that. I got a little bit of ginger here, and that was 10 cents. Then I got this cabbage for $2.79. I got the smallest cabbage they had, but we're gonna be using that for a few meals this week. And then this was a real splurge. I got this for $5.29, and it's just a sauce for the spring rolls, and it was not necessary. And this is one of the things I could have easily put back to get maybe another package of oatmeal, so that I could have fed my family for breakfast, or I even could have grabbed a jar of peanut butter for this cost, and I could have used the bread that I grabbed extra for toast with peanut butter for the week. But I did grab this in the end, and so that's what we're using for the week. I'm gonna have to feed my kids something else for breakfast this week, but you could have definitely made this work for my whole family of 4. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so sorry, in total at Co-op, I spent $32.46 on everything there. And now we're gonna move on to independent. So I got some white beans. They were $2.99 for 900 grams. Then we got some chicken broth. This was $1.29. Again, I got another sauce, and this I did kind of find necessary for the meals this week. I could have easily substituted this for the spring rolls. It would have tasted just as good, I'm sure, but this was $1.79. Then we got our vermicelli noodles, or that's what I'm calling them, but they're not really. They're thicker than that. They're medium rice sticks, and these were $1.99. We've got 4 bananas here for $1.39. We got some romaine lettuce here, a big head for $3.50. Although this one has some sort of rotted tops, it looks like, I think the rest will be good enough, and I definitely think it'll be good enough to last me for the week, so I went with that. This is where I saved a lot of money, and I didn't expect to, is this pork loin for $10.71. I got this for $10.71, and I was amazed. If you can see, it's a good piece of meat there. And usually I can't find it any cheaper than $14, but woohoo, we found one for $10.71. So that's awesome. That will be for quite a few meals this week. We're gonna use that in a lot of different ways. I got this baguette here that I broke on the way out. I just slammed it off the door. It was an accident. But I got that for 65 cents. And then I also grabbed this loaf of bread for 75 cents. This is what we got for the week, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do with it. Okay, so I have to tell you a bit of a story. I got my COVID shot the day after I bought all these groceries, and so I felt so sick for days, and so I wasn't able to get to a lot of these ingredients. For example, my baguette that I got for 50% off is now like hard as a rock. Like I can't even, it's not even edible anymore. So this is what I would have served with the soup. We have some other bread kicking around from that loaf that I bought, you know, 50% off the other one. So that was one thing I wanted to tell you. So that's why some of the things like the lettuce for the salad that I'm going to show you, I don't have very much of it because my husband had to feed my family and he used some of the ingredients even though I had labeled them like he hadn't noticed, and he needed to use some of them to make what he was making. So that's why there's a bit of adjustment. So hopefully you'll bear with me about that. Okay, so this is what I'll be having days 1 to 7. There's an extra pack of oatmeal, so as you can see, it's not very much, but I get so full from oatmeal. I don't know what it is about oatmeal, but I can't eat very much anyway. So that looks like a good serving size to me, but if I am hungry, I can have that extra package one day. And what I've done here is I've dumped my package of strawberries, and I think they'll probably last for 4 days, hopefully, maybe even 3. So I just sorted it into 4 strawberries per day, and I'm gonna have half a banana per day with it as well. So we'll have half a banana, 4 strawberries, and my package of oatmeal. And that will be for the first 4 days. The last 3 days, I'll have half a banana for 2 days, and then I can have a whole banana one day as well. That's what one serving would look like. So as you can see, it's actually quite a full bowl in the end. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm done cooking up my pork chop. I've just tried to slice it into lunch meat here. As you can see, that's about 1 1/4 maybe of a pork chop. And then this is how much I have left of that bag. And then I've just put on some of that new mustard and also 1 full lettuce leaf as well. So that will be a sandwich, and that will be probably another. The mustard's really good. I like it. It's definitely a bit spicy, but not too much. All right, so I'm preparing to make a few different things today. I know this bag says noodles and pork, but it's a lie. I'm actually marinating the pork in this sauce here, just a little bit of it. And I'm gonna actually cook this for salads. So I'm gonna go ahead and fry the pork chops that have been in the marinade for a little bit. And I'm gonna slice them up and put them on a salad. And then I'm actually gonna use this as a dressing for it. So I will show you in a minute. So this is what I am left with, but of course I would have had enough of the head of lettuce in order to last me for 3 meals. So I would have just put cucumbers, and there are some leftover carrots as well. You could have put those in. I just hate carrots in salad, but you could have totally put those in if you want some extra nutrients. And like I said, I'm just going to use the chili sauce for a dressing for it. You can put a bit of water in it if you want it a little thinner, but yeah, and I'm just going to put my pork chops on top when they're all done cooking. I just put a bit of water in the pan because it was like burning to the bottom, so they're just simmering in some water. And yeah, I'll use 1 pork chop per salad. All right, so I'm gonna cook my roast up. I've got in here 2 potatoes, 2 carrots, and 1 onion. And I'm gonna put about a cup of water in there as well. And then I'm gonna put my roast right on top. All right, so I've got the roast on there. It was basically just the part that I couldn't cut more pork chops off of. So I'm gonna roast it up. It has a bit more fat. And I seasoned it with some salt and pepper. We're assuming that most people have salt and pepper in their pantries. So we'll go ahead and cook this, and I'll let you know how it turns out in a few hours. All right, so here's how much meat I got after shredding up that roast. So I definitely got enough for 3 servings there. So this is what 1 serving looks like. All right, so I've got my water boiling there, and I've got these noodles I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna try my best to cook 2 servings, then I'll cook the last serving on the 3rd day. But there's 8 or 9 servings in this bag, so you could make quite a few meals with these. We'll definitely have some leftovers. They're so hard to get out. Yeah, there we go. Cook for 6 to 8 minutes. So that's probably about 1. Try to do 1 more. I'm not very good with serving sizes, so hopefully that's 2 servings. Took about that much. We'll see. Okay, so they've actually made 1 serving, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna toss it with some of this fish sauce. And actually, I kind of like to use it as I go. Like I put a little on the noodles, and then I put a little more on as I go. But anyway, I've got that, and I'm gonna add my carrot, cucumber, I just sliced up into small little pieces, and also one of my pork chops. I fried more of the pork chops in that spicy sauce, the sweet and spicy sauce, like I did with the salad pork. I cut up one of the pork chops for this meal, and then I have the 2 more for the other 2 bowls of this. So this is what it looks like. Also, if I had lettuce, I would, and I should have had enough, remember my incident with getting sick, but if I had lettuce, I would shred some lettuce up really fine as well, and this is really good with that too. So I'll eat this with my egg rolls. Let me show you how I get the egg rolls completed as well to eat with this. All right, so what I've done here is I'm heating up my oil to be able to cook my pork for the egg rolls. Now, I want this to resemble ground pork as much as possible, so I've cut it up into as tiny of little pieces as I could. I'll add my ginger and my garlic. Now I just cut up all of the ginger, excuse the background noise, my kids are playing. I cut up all the ginger that I bought, and I did 3 cloves of the garlic. So I did these before I even started to cook the pork, because I know a lot of my time is going to be occupied in cutting the cabbage. So I wanted to get those out of the way while I'm cooking the pork, so I could start cutting the cabbage while the pork is cooking. All right, so this is what it looks like when it's been cooked a little bit here. So as you can see, it's pretty small little pieces. I'm gonna add the onion now. I've taken probably about 1/3 of an onion. It's supposed to be green onion, but I cut this really tiny. And then I'm gonna add my coleslaw mixture, which is actually just hand chopped from this cabbage. I'm gonna save a little bit for something else I'm making. Something I did forget was you do need a little bit of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon. Hopefully you have that hanging around. If not, I'm sure we'll be fine without it, to be honest. Maybe just add a little more oil, and that's gonna be the whole filling for the egg rolls. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make our egg rolls. So I am just doing a little tester one here. Bring it over. And Alice is helping me too. All right, Alice is gonna show you guys how to fold them. Oops, I think, wait a second, don't put it in. Hang on, she's got 4 egg roll wrappers here. No, you've only got 2, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, so here's our completed egg rolls. Alice helped me try some new folding techniques. But yeah, there's definitely enough for more servings than you need. I'm going to actually freeze the ones that I don't use. So, excuse the oil mess. I'm going to freeze them. They freeze fine. And so you can individually wrap them and put them in baggies to freeze them for later. So this will be more than enough. Okay, so we're just making our soup. I've got some helpers here. Alice is just peeling one of our potatoes that we're going to use for the soup. Tobias is just monitoring the situation. And we're going to make this as much of this 3-pork soup that we can. Obviously, we don't have bacon and ham and all that stuff. So we're going to get started. This is how much meat I have left at the end. So I've got a little bit of the roast that I saved and then one pork chop. And that's about as much as we need to half the recipe of the soup. So I'm going to cut that up all fine. It's supposed to be kind of like ground meat. So I'm going to cut it up as fine as I can. And I'm going to chop up the rest of the vegetables. But the first thing I'm going to do is cook some of these beans. I need 1 cup cooked. I'm just going to do that in my Instant Pot really quick and have those ready for when we're ready to make the soup. All right, so I'm just cooking up 2 potatoes, 1/2 of an onion, and I think about 4 cloves of garlic. I've just got those on medium-high right now, and I'm going to add the stock so that they all cook for about 20 minutes. So I just need 3 cups of stock, and I've got this giant one, so we'll just try to leave about 1 cup in there. I'm not going to measure it. I don't care that much. Like I said, we're going to cook that on medium-high for about 20 minutes. Really good. And then we're going to add our beans when they are all done pressure cooking, and we are going to whiz it up so it's like a cream soup. I've just dumped my beans in there, and I'm going to take my immersion blender and blend this up. It might need a little more water or something. I actually ended up adding the rest of the container of the chicken broth, but it's going to be maybe pretty thick. So I'm going to go ahead and immersion blender this. I won't film it because it'll be loud, and then I'll show you guys after. So I went ahead and immersion blendered that. I added the cabbage, and then I also added one of these. I keep these in my freezer pretty much all the time. Whenever I cook chicken, I just put the liquid. I usually cook it in the Instant Pot, and then I just put the liquid in one of these bags. Sometimes I purposely make broth and add, you know, onions and carrots and spices and all these things, but sometimes I just cook the chicken and keep the juice. Also, someone mentioned a really good idea on my last video that was like this, to take the beans, or sorry, the liquid from when you're cooking the beans in the Instant Pot, and you could add that to this as well. That'd be really good. I just worry a little bit because I'm a little sensitive to beans, and so I feel like if I put the liquid in there, it's gonna not do well for me. So that soup when it's all finished. That's how it turned out. We need this for 4 servings, and I definitely think, I love how I'm like cutting it, like that's gonna do it. Anyway, so we need this for 4 servings, and I definitely think that is enough for 4 servings. To stretch it even farther, I would say I'm gonna go ahead and add these remaining beans, but you have that whole bag of beans, so you can add more. You could also add carrot to it and more onion. You could even add more potato. We have extra of all those things in the end. Okay, so this is all the food that I have left. I've got 4 onions. I've actually got 1/2 of an onion in the fridge still too. So there's quite a few onions, most of the bag of potatoes, most of the garlic. We've got this many noodles left after the 3 noodle bowls. I used almost half in the end. I guess I ate too big of servings, but there's about probably half the bag left of those. Most of the white beans, a couple of carrots, and then I would have used more of this sauce had I had those 3 salads. So, you know, probably like half of the bottle of the sweet sauce. And then this delicious mustard, which I was happy to discover on this round of doing this cooking challenge. So obviously there are even a few more meals you could make here. You could make that, honestly, I would make that soup again without the pork and cabbage. Even as a side dish, it was delicious. Just the potato, onion, garlic, this, and the broth. If you do happen to have a bit more broth left over and grind that up, it was really good. I do have a running challenge going. I'm trying to do one every month, but it's actually been a few months since I've done the last one. But so what I'm doing is I'm spending $50 a week, and then I'm carrying on the groceries. So I would have taken all this food and used it toward the next week, and I'm going to show you how much you can build doing that for, you know, approximately 12 weeks, because I wanted to do it every month of the year. So I'm going to be doing that challenge as well. I've done a couple videos. I'll link them down below if you are interested in that. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you have, and definitely go check out Sarah's video.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video.